it would probably be considered by most beautiful souls to be pointlessly caring about people who want to go to the way of darkness right now. Because they're basically saying, as far as I'm concerned, and the world is concerned, that they just don't care about anything. Or they just care about money. And sadly, there's generations of people that even though they got nice cell phones and they got roofs over their head and they eat okay, they have full bellies, they have nothing else to look forward to in life. And so they're not happy people. They don't have anything to look forward to but work, and they don't have any faith in themselves to suppose there is anything better than that coming their way. And all of that is the mirage of right now. You know, we got pretty much every nation saying that there's going to be war in or on the United States, and you know, we haven't seen anything like that since my grandfather's generation here, really. And I say here as in, like, yeah, parts of America's shore and stuff got attacked. But outside of that, really, since the 1800s, which would have been the time of the last resets, we haven't seen, you know, full war on this soil. Getting attacks by, you know, one attack with 9/11, like, imagine having a whole city be like that. It's beyond where we can fathom. And in order to survive tough times, you have to have a tough outlook. Not just like I was taught from these gangs, this like survivalist, like, you know, there's no honor among thieves. And I used to say that and they get mad at me, and they totally proved it. Like, if you're not willing to off somebody for somebody else, you're worthless to them. Which means at the end of the day, you're all worthless because you're only worth the next downfall. And really, when human life has gotten to the point when it's that sociopathic, it is just something that needs to go. And we've been so brainwashed for so many years to tolerate this kind of madness and try to help people, because it is the good thing to do. It is the right thing to do. But we took the truth of what is going on in the human mind and body, and the embodiment of these fourth dimensional elements, and dead kings, you know, dead kingdoms of the past, these vampiric entities and these planetary demon worshipping people, that we don't get what's going on. And the only thing that's going to change that in an individual is enlightenment. So as much as I hate saying this, because I've suffered a lot, I've watched my kids suffer a lot, to me, if they don't, the couple that I'm thinking of, you know, they don't suffer more, they're not going to have a chance to break through to enlightenment. And I'll say it again, I'm not a pro-suffering kind of person. But when you see people being exactly where you were when you were going through your dissolving of reality, and you see them after everything they've seen you go through and everything you've taught them, they then turn around and reject the truth, and they want the easiest way out and whatever. They've given up thinking, and survival mechanism has taken over in a dark way. And so with that darkness comes dark entities. And for one of my kids, it's just straight up, as far as I'm concerned, alcohol and drugs talking for them. The slyness of those things, even if you're on, you know, drugs for mental health, is that part of you has checked out. And I don't say this to say you're stupid or you're dumb or anything like that. I'm saying that when it comes to spirituality, in some ways you expose yourself and make yourself more vulnerable to certain things, which is why I microdose, small amounts. Because if not, with me, it's literally a fight. And sometimes I'll take that a fight on with the darkness as a challenge, but only to beat something within myself when I'm getting fearful or lethargic or too caught up in the world's narratives. And I know I need an emotional cleanse. But I've practiced a long time doing this under very adverse conditions. So like a shaman does, and I'm not saying I'm that, I said like a shaman does, you become adept at moving through things. And I don't even really have helper guides anymore. What I do is I turn into the soul space and tune into the soul space, and I know every saint of the soul and every light being that is for the soul's evolution is going to be there to help me. It doesn't matter if it's of the land or of the sky or of the this, that, and the other. Like I said before, I was adept at just opening portals, pulling through things in, speaking with things, working with things in the land, to the point where I could see miracles. So now, to me, so I know I have some of that wisdom and ability in me, and so when I use it, I want to use it for the most high currency for myself and for all. And so when I speak and work with the land, which is generally just walking over it, hiking, I'm doing it setting forth that intention of light. And in these dark times when people are literally looking for spirits to take on because they consider their Holy Ghost weak, or they've been taught taking on spirits and plasma is what you should do, but then they do it in a way that opens themselves up to too much darkness also. You have to go in with pure intentions. And the land likes that, no matter what spirits you're working with. And it will openly work with you and for you when you set those things a good intention. And when you don't, when it's things that don't like you or don't like your energy, it's gonna let you know. Like, that's how I got my knee injury. Like, I hiked in this place, everyone else goes hiking, and it's kind of like ancient farmland, but of course I found the ancient stonework and farms and the wells and different ceremonial stones, and I talk about how I've been trained to do that through spirits and through the land and ceremony and stuff. So to me, if I go on grounds that are obviously I don't like the energy and the energy doesn't like me, ain't gonna work with it. But something I have learned, when my energy is high up enough, those things are subjugated to me. So either they're gonna be quiet and mind their own business, or they're gonna be there to serve me and show me something. So, really that's how energy and plasma works. The higher up you get your energy, your own internal energy, the more plasma and plasma beings you're gonna attract, whether you believe that's toroidal field implosion technology via, your own toroidal field working. There, like I said, there's good and bad ways to get the toroidal field working, and then your life is set forth via the intentions of the heart and the mind. So if the mind is not purified or enchrysted, people call that, or your ghost ain't holy, and you're not looking for ghosts to be holy or to move into holiness with, you're going to attract negative energies and entities. It's just how it is. And to me, It's the reason why so many children and so many people have negative energy and entities attached to them nowadays without even knowing what's going on or why. Because with food and lifestyle and the horrible stuff these young kids watch on TV that's blatantly demonic, and they'll sit there and fight with you about it to the point where like something's taking them over, which I've seen in my own family, and they're still arguing about how good this is and trying to pressure their mom to get sucked into it when she has no interest in watching the program, doesn't need to be sucked into that program because, well, she's already part of the non-seeing program. So a child who does see, they want you to know about these things. And if you don't know how to talk to them about esoteric or esoteric things because you've never been trained to, or because, you know, it's marginal, or you just don't want to believe in it, or you left Christianity so you don't want to believe in any of that because it's turned you off to that, well then you're leaving yourself open to attack. And there is a spiritual war going on right now. The way it works is as above, in the stars, in the heavens, so it is below, because we're playing out those stories here in an ignorant way, like a puppet. Unless we're awake to that and staying in our centers, then basically we're controlled by all of that. And we're inviting that in to use us, which is going to very easily convince us that it can make us powerful when it can't. It just wants to use us. Like, I just can't believe the idiots I've dealt with in the cult that just think they're so powerful. And they're really, all they're doing is storing up energy for a being, an unholy ghost that thinks it's going to live forever, and then tells them that they are that. And then they go around saying, I'm that. If that's a catchphrase you see in esoteric groups on Facebook, stay away from it. Stay away from it. Yes, we're all that. All that is us. But that doesn't mean you invite a murderer into your house or a serial offer. You know, like, you don't do that kind of stuff because you'd be considered stupid. And, you know, you invite in the Baron to have supper with you. Well, you better hope it's the one, you know, that's nice. Maybe the you know, you're just being Goldilocks or something. I don't know. But this is what people are literally doing and thinking they're so smart for doing it. It's like, I'm the offscouring of the earth. I'm evil and I'm bad. And I got minions. No, you got animals and you're an animal and your animal wants to eat you. And then your animals are going around saying how, you know, humans are animals, but don't eat animals because it's not kind to eat animals. But then they eat animals and they eat life force. If not, they would die and cease to exist here. Just like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, with all those vampires going around, you know, with their skins in buckets while they go, their dehydrated mummies, while they go around looking for life force, you know, and taking over other people's bodies. Yeah, I literally never watched any of that stuff until after I got out of the cult stuff I was in. Had no interest for years after because I wanted nothing to do with it. I was traumatized. And then, like, in October, I watched some Buffy the Vampire Slayer stuff. And besides it being funny and hilarious, it was like, oh my God, there's hidden gems in here that totally hit home. So there's the time coming, though, when you cannot do that. Whether you believe the kings and the kingdoms are switching up, which means the stars, means outer space, it means that dimension. So unless you are that in the sixth dimension, you ain't gonna know that your time's up. And that's why you're going around looking for bodies and body slaying embodiment, and all that isn't working, and you're not satisfied with any body you sit in, or no matter how much energy you get, because your time's already up. You know, that's doable. All that stuff is doable. Becoming as I said in October, becoming a harpy, becoming a gibberine, becoming all of these things. You can become a werewolf, a dog man, a blah blah blah. The military is killing off those things, though. You've got to realize that there's a war in those things, and that, you know, like, so what if you can put yourself into a chicken? Someone can come along and eat you. So what if you can put yourself into a crow and fly away? If maybe somebody can shoot you down. You know, like, you're not impenetrable. You're not holier than thou unless you're holier than thou, and that's what you're looking for and what your intention is. And so set your mind on things above. And I don't mean in space. I mean things in your higher, of your highest self, in the highest realm above the heavens, meaning that it's higher than planetary divination. Thank you.